Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, B-O-T-T-U, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
What's up, y'all?
Welcome everybody. What's up, y'all? What's going on? How y'all feel? Yeah, welcome to Philly Talk. And like the Bug and Ron. You know what I'm saying? Another partner, he out for right now. You know, he'll be back in. EVS Duke. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. But yeah, so you know, we got a little bit of things to talk about, you know what I'm saying? You know, nothing too big, you know, but you know, Ron, you know. Ron, I need you to do me a favor.
What's up, my brother?
I need you to play our new theme music tonight.
We keep hope alive. Yeah. We in the city, lights shining bright. Talking about the struggle, gotta make it right. Voices in the shadows, but we breaking through. Philly Talks the platform, hear the story's true. From the blocks to the rooftops, hear our cries. Voices rise, gotta see through the light. Philly Talk, we the voice of the streets. Speaking for the silent, where the struggle meets. Empowered and united, we stand tall. Together we rise. We won't let them fall. We share the pain, the hope, the fight. From north to south, we ignite the night. Every corner's a story, every face is truth. In the heart of Philly, we are vulnerable. For the youth, forgotten, for the dreams misplaced. Philly Talks, the echo, we take our place.
Philly Talk, y'all.
Philly Talk, be the voice of the streets. Speaking for the silent, where the struggle meets. Empowered and united, we stand tall. Together we rise. We won't let them fall.
What's up, yo? What's up, man? We want to thank my brother, Old Man Jenkins, for putting the fire to the metal and making that one theme music. You know what I mean? He hit it on the head with that one, bro.
Yes, he did, oh man.
Show with it.
Yeah, Old Man Jenkins did his thing on it, man.
Old Man
we appreciate
Jenkins.
it. Yes, sir. Fire.
Yeah, man. Hey, before we get into anything else, I want to tell y'all, Aunt sent me this, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go and I'm playing it. I'm like, oh, snap, what's going on? I said, oh, let me call him back real fast. I was like, yo, who did this? You like to say it with an attitude. You had to say it with an attitude. Who did this?
Yeah, you said it, man.
He was in trouble.
You know when somebody likes something when they say it, man, because when you be listening to music, you be like,
I was mad. I'm like, how you get this first? No, but it was hot though, man. We appreciate you, Old Man Jenkins. I mean,
yes, sir. That's our new opening.
Definitely gonna be the official theme music to Philly Talk. It fits this. It
fits
the story. It fits the things that we focus on. I mean, the positive great that comes out of the city of Philadelphia. We love it. We love it. I appreciate it. I mean, we had to tweak something to make it work, but man, it's hot. It was real hot. But but just so y'all know, the first thing I want to do is, before we get too far in this, I want to thank all the people that donated to the cause. We've moved the needle some more. We really did. We definitely moved the needle some more from where we started at up until the day.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Appreciate it.
Y'all, for those that don't know what we're talking about, our friend who was brutally murdered by her husband in Houston, Texas. If you're looking for the story, I don't really like to use the last name, but it's Robin Simpson, Houston, Texas murder. It happened a couple of years ago, but we're raising money for her daughter. And for her daughter to take a trip next year to it's actually multiple stops, but mostly in Africa. It's gonna be Africa and a couple of other places, Paris, whatever. Because her daughter watched this happen to her. She was in the house when it happened.
Yeah, she was 8 years old.
We're doing everything that we possibly can to try to raise the money. The trip overall is like $4,600 or some change. And we just gonna keep pushing the needle as much as we can to try to raise the money. We was putting the link into the chat, but for some reason it wasn't working where it was coming up as a link. So if you make any donations to the OG Network, Ron's Opinion Don't Matter channel, understand that also will help go towards the donation of
What's up, Christopher?
So we just want to say thank y'all for those that already donated. We appreciate it very, very much. If you want to, you can donate to the channel, and whatever we get out of that, that portion is going to go to help fund the cause, because we keep having issues with trying to put the link in there, and it's just haven't been working. But so if you don't know what we're talking about, you can go look at some of the old videos that we did with Philly Talk. The last 2 of them, you can get the story of what's going on and why we're doing what we're doing. And like I said, so far we've actually pushed and we've moved the needle. Currently we're still, I think we're like $3,700 short so far. We definitely been making donations and stuff like that, and we're still working on it. So we're trying to get people there. Welcome to Philly Talk.
If y'all can give a dollar, that's $1 more.
Yeah, if y'all don't understand what Philly Talk is, what we do on Philly Talk is we search in the city of Philadelphia for people that are doing wonderful, great things in the city of Philadelphia, that are average, everyday people, not somebody big name. We're not looking for those type of people. Appreciate you, River. Not nobody big name, not no famous people. We like average, everyday people that are doing amazing.
Yeah, I love you too.
Who would never, ever, who would never ever probably get a chance to get it. So that's what we do on Philly Talk. We go search for those type of people. We give them a chance to that. We haven't been searching for guests lately because we've been pushing this cause here to try to raise the money to get her daughter to where. But here's the thing: we're gonna do it. We got a whole year to do this. We got 460 something days left before this thing closes out. So we're getting there. We're getting there slowly, and we're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep pushing.
Yes. Appreciate that.
Listen,
it's all right. It's all right.
You ain't got no money, just pray.
That's sorry right there.
You don't have to be sorry. I mean, we understand. You ain't got no money, okay, just pray. I mean, if you pray, a prayer can do a lot more than your pockets can do.
Exactly. Actually, I'll tell you what, you subscribe and share, you be doing it just as much justice.
Yep. There you go. Subscribe to the channel, share.
You might have $1 one day. Yes. No, but it ain't about that though. You know what I mean? And it's crazy, y'all, to think about it. Ronnie, we're not going into it. You have evil forces, whether someone wants to say it's the devil or things that'll be doing the common shit. And it's so crazy, like, the information was given to you and you're like, huh? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and then you have to equate it like this is never, oh, hey, my cousin Shirley is out of the hospital, y'all. She home up here in Ohio. Big love to her. Bless her heart. You know what I'm saying? I just love. I can't wait to call and get on her nerves because she probably like, don't let that nigga call me because he gonna talk me back in the hospital. I talk you to death. But yeah, listen. You know what I'm saying? My and with that information given, it was like that was the first thing I thought. Like, how would that be when we're trying to do how did that? This just seems it's such an indirect but direct cause of an event for it to come to that, and you're like, huh?
Right.
And and it's like, wow. So sometimes y'all really got to pay attention to the world and the forces when you see something that's trying to destroy, it just come out of nowhere. It's like, you know, you just put the glass in the window and you're like, hey man, you wipe the window off and then you like this smoke. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how it felt. Like it was just trying to do it to make you either not put another window up in there or whatever the case. You know, I know the analogy is different, but it is, but it isn't. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like it's something to break you, or try to break you, or try to dig in somewhere to create something. Yes.
Just get a little bit more specific, without being too specific. Something happened. Now here we are trying to do what we're trying to do. Something.
Hey, wait a minute. And we're from Philly. This is the point. Like, we're not blood related, but we're family. There we go.
Right. So something happened between family. I'm gonna say my family, his family, and the other family that we're trying to help. That could have easily, if we wasn't in our right minds, could have easily put a stop to what we're trying to do. It could have threw a monkey wrench and said, well, they did what? No, we ain't. And it could have created an animosity situation where we'd be like, why would I do that? But at the end of the day, we're still like family. My thing is this. And the reason why I say that is this, is that there are times that, this ain't like the bug is family. But don't you think for a minute that there wasn't times that we had beef with each other. But we never let the beef stop us from loving and caring for each other.
Especially after you bought those guns. That's what happened. He started bringing me them Target posters back. Once he started bringing me them Target posters back, I was like, what you shoot with that? Let me show you. I was like, oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, man, that's funny. But anyway, but again, that's why sometimes when he say evil forces, if you're not in your right mind, you will let something like that say, because it could easily went that way. But I'm a level-headed person. You know what I mean? And they are family to me, even though they're not blood family, like birth blood. This is family. And I would never let something like that come between what I'm trying to do. Because the story in itself and the reason behind it so much, if Robin was here today and it was one of our kids, she would be doing the same thing. Maybe on a better level than we are, because I'm thinking that she's probably better at it than we are.
Yes, yep. She was that.
Be better at it than we. So for me, yeah, it's it's a sad story that what happened. I'm not gonna get into the details of what happened, but it could have easily threw a monkey wrench into what we're doing. But it's all good. I mean, and I'm gonna tell y'all like this, is that we're gonna reach.
And we love them. And we love them. We love them all. Yeah.
We're gonna reach that goal. We're not gonna stop in the direction that we're going. But again, the show is about Philly talk, about people from Philadelphia. And Robin was definitely heart, soul, everything Philly. You know what I mean? She was a big Eagles fan. I mean, I tried to stop her, but I couldn't. But
and that fucking asshole was a Dallas fan.
Yeah, that explains that. But anyway, and when you hear a story like that, a person like her who just, man, had such amazing impact on so many people, bro. Like when we was at the funeral, and I just seen so many people that we all grew up with from different walks of life and stuff like that. And then people that she knew that, of course, I didn't know or you didn't know, but it was just so many people there. And then it was like, you don't realize how much of an impact you have on people. You just think you're doing something. You don't realize how many lives you've impacted throughout your course of your life when you're doing something meaningful with your life. And that's how she was. I'm not talking about, she was one of those people, man, that she was very intentional in her movements and what she was doing. She always was there trying to help, always was trying to support. And I mean, like I said, and when it came to the brothers and the men that was around her, she always told you she was proud of you. Like she was very intentional, man. And sometimes you hear stuff like that and you really don't think about it. But I remember my mindset when we was at the funeral, and I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, like, you know, she was literally the only woman in my life that I've ever said they was proud of me. Up to that point, I literally started tracing back.
Pros, y'all. But yeah, she was that type of person, y'all. You know what I mean? She would have told me stuff like that. You know, might even told you was handsome. Might even told, listen, she could have been lying to my ass. I don't know. And I never felt like that because she made each person that whomever she was with an intimate situation. You know what I mean? And I don't mean nothing sexual. Nothing was like my sister. I would not, and she would not. So it's like, you know, we were brother, sister, like we could joke about stuff, you know what I'm saying? Hit with it below the belt, say jokes, you know what I'm saying? But we always had our back, you know what I'm saying? If either one of us is out of line, we were to get each other in out of line to be friends again. But none of us spilled out like that. We just started back up all over again. We never let none of that upset any situations that happen. You know what I mean? I don't get to see y'all things like that. Oh, what's going on? Said button up. Sorry, can't keep any money. What's up, dogs? What's up, dogs? I ain't even say that. What's up, button up?
What's going on? I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It is. We can't have no control over these technology, and sometimes it just does what it does.
Yeah, hating. That's that evil. That's the evil spirit coming through again.
But
you know what I mean?
I gotta say them. I one thing I can say, man, is it's been a like I said, she was very intentional, and I said to myself, in my whole entire life, and I thought about it, I said, man, no woman has ever said that to me. Like up until that point, I'm like, I'm not saying that I have a problem with my mom. That's not what I'm saying. It's not like or the women in my life. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that she was literally the only female that I can remember. And I'm like, my mom never said it. You know, my sisters never said it. You know what I mean? Like, I was married. My wife never said it. Like, those words never came out of nobody's mouth. As a man, you don't hear stuff like that. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. As a man, it's extremely rare to hear someone say that they're proud of you. You know, most of the time, they just expect you to do what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kind of like, oh, you know, you're a man. You got, but you know, and sometimes you don't realize. And honestly, I used to be sitting there like, what does she mean? She's proud of me? Like, what am I doing? There's so
You're
much.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But then, you know, don't get me wrong. We were doing a lot of things. We was doing basketball leagues, you know, trying to be, you know, instrumental in our, you know, influential in our
community. I wonder, was that her sense of telling you that for you encouraged to, like, you're saying to yourself, well, I'm not doing nothing.
Right.
And she like, what you doing is good enough. And it makes you like not want to mess up with her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the way she looked at you, you didn't want her to see nothing. You know, I said, get new Wi-Fi. You know, you didn't see that nothing that, you know, about yourself that she would say something to you in order for you to get the energy that she gave you. Then you like, I can't do shit wrong because she just said, I'm proud of you. Like, what? What are you proud of me for? Now you're like, well, I guess I got to keep making her proud of me. I can't mess up now. You know what I mean? I mean, because you look at it like we all, you know, she's kind of like, you know how we like, people be like, you know, you scared of prison. You be like, no, I'm scared at the way, like me, I'm scared at the way my mom would look at me getting locked up. Right. When she looked at me like that, getting arrested, yo, that was the worst thing I felt more than anything else. I felt like my mom looking at me disappointed. I did not want to have her bail me out. You know what I'm saying? Right. And when she did it, it was like the worst feeling I could think. Robin, if I had to call her from jail, she would be like my sister, mom, that I'm like, you know what I mean? What's she gonna say to me? You know what I mean? And you be like, Anthony, what were you being stupid for, Anthony? You know this, that. You know what I mean? Like, she getting you out of jail, so you know it's like your mom. You like this. You know what I mean? Like, all right. And then if you turn around and have a comment, she's going to debate with you. She's intellectually enough that she's going to debate with you to make you know that you're doing wrong. But you, like she said, I would not want to see her. If I was to walk and they'd be like, oh, it's Robin Hightower that bailed you, I'd be like, oh, shit, no. Tell her you did it, and I'll be out later. Yeah, catch the ride. Tell her send me an Uber and shit.
I ain't going out
there. Like, I tell you, I got it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Tell her I'll pay her back.
You be scared to go.
I don't even want to see you. Yeah, I want to send you a picture so I ain't got there. Tell our messenger. That text her. Tell her you'll let me out the back. I was cool. You know what I'm saying? He said he'll be out. He'll leave tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead home. He gonna leave tomorrow. Yeah, man, scared. Yeah, you know. But like I said,
go ahead. No, you good. Go ahead.
Oh no, it just hit me like you said that she was that type of she had that type of affection on us to be where you didn't want to do nothing bad. You didn't want to do nothing to disappoint her. You know what I mean? And I think we didn't look at it like that, but in a sense, it was like you want to be your respectful little sister, your respectful sister, because she was all our age. So it was like we felt like we was all born together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, with different moms. You know what I'm saying? That we was able to sit out late night, spend the night, talk crap. You know what I'm saying? You know how you might growing up, you might joke about your sister's body, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like, you might be like, girl, it's your big old butt. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, that's how she was to us. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can joke about it. I mean, goddamn, Robin, you can't try to hide that over with no damn sweater. What the hell you think you doing? You know what I'm saying? Get you a tarp or something. Like, we had our jokes.
You know, it's funny while you were sitting there talking, I just started thinking about when I went back to my head went back to when we used to all play basketball. Of course, I wasn't that good at playing basketball, but she had that Reggie Miller jump shot. I ain't kid y'all not. Robin had a Reggie Miller jump shot. Yes, she was female, but she had that quick release Reggie Miller jump shot. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you that she could beat the dudes. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to tell you is, if she was on the team and she can get open a split second fast, she was gonna kill you with that jump shot.
Yeah.
There's much you could do about it, because everybody would take her lightly because she was a female. So you just
leave her open. It was actually her and Kendra.
Yeah, she hit that jumping. Like,
but nobody, but Robin. Man, Robin was that she, you know how they say she had that set shot, man, and see, when we used to play basketball, we played basketball on the street, and we had a basketball court attached to the light pole, because we in the hood. Yeah, we had no goddamn field. Wait a minute. Not only that, the street was on an angle.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
It was on a downgrade, right? You forgot about that.
Right. Then you got that sidewalk where you break your ankles at.
Yeah, trying to get around that curve.
On that dirt, in the dirt. And you got that big sidewalk. You trying to jump up, get a rebound, and not break your ankle on that curve.
Yeah.
That's why, honestly speaking, I think that's why a lot of times when people come out the hood and they play ball professionally, they seem to have an edge over everybody, because they don't understand the obstacles that you had to deal with when you actually played street basketball. First of all, we didn't have no rim. We had a crate.
Yeah.
We had a square.
How you on with that crate too? Milk crate.
Now, here's
a milk crate, y'all.
You got a milk crate and a basketball that's almost the same size. So you got to try to shoot that basketball in that little milk crate and make it. Now, here's the crazy part.
On the street, that's on an angle.
With a sidewalk, that's going to break your ankles.
And the girl, yes. That's when you play real ball, y'all.
That's how you play real basketball. That's street ball. Mm-hmm. That's Philadelphia street basketball. We ain't had no food services. We ain't had no gated area where you got a full court. Heck no. You had an angle breaking sidewalk with dirt missing everywhere. You had an angle street with cracks all over the place. You didn't have a rim. You had a crate that said Abbott. What was it? Abbott Milk Company or something?
Yeah, Abbott's Milk Company. Craig, that's where they was at first, remember? They was actually right there.
Right. Wait a minute.
Wow, I forgot about that. They had a factory there. I forgot about that.
So you go from playing on a crate, and then you see a real court, and you got all that extra room and space. You're like, wait a minute. I've been
at Hunting Park. At Hunting Park, you mean, Ron?
Yeah. You're like, oh, snap. I got a whole rim? Oh,
I wonder where I can put this rim. I wonder where I can put this rim that I can take down at the park. I wonder where I could put this at. You know what I'm saying? If I had a rim like this where we play,
sure.
I don't know. That came later, y'all. That came later. Right, that came later.
Right. I'm telling y'all, milk crate is only what, 12 inches by 12 inches? Maybe a little more than that, but it ain't that big. A milk crate is a 12 by 12 inch crate that holds 4 gallons of milk. And you would
that ball would go in there like
what you played basketball when we grew up.
Sometimes they went clean through, and sometimes it even rattled in the crate. You know what I'm saying?
Slowly went down.
Yeah. Yeah. You was sitting there like, it wasn't no taps. It was either in there, and that was it. Once it got beyond that point, it was in there. But hey, to make that shit, oh boom.
Man, you
get it halfway in there, it's most likely it's in there.
Real shooting skills to make it in them crates, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, wait, Ron, I got one even better for you.
What's up?
Wire ball on Kamak Street.
Wire ball.
When we used to play with a tennis ball right there by the garage, and the wire was hanging off the wall from the garage, and it was to be. We was making set shots from there with the tennis ball. That it was only a wire. Yo, listen, it was an electrical cable that came from the building, and it wrapped around the building. I don't know what it went to, but it was a loop, and it was a space between the wire and the ball that we would shoot the ball. But the tennis ball, we used to take tennis ball to shoot. Yo, we had competition on the block, yo. To toss that ball, you was like this with the tennis ball. You was doing shit with the tennis ball. You like this, you passing it, tossing it. You was doing layups, you was dunking on it.
Listen, this is how broke most of us was. We had to invent fun.
I forgot about that. The Max Street ball, 3,600.
We had to invent fun. It wasn't like we had a lot of stuff to do back then. We had to invent fun.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't have, like, okay, one of us had video games in the house, but the rest of us didn't have no video games in the house. You know what I mean? He was hood rich. He didn't know he was, but anyway. But
I ain't nobody to play with.
But out on the street, it wasn't. Listen, we didn't have no nice.
But let me say this: at some point, people thought I had everything. Guess what? I was a single child. I did have those things, but I didn't have nobody to play with. I had a basketball. You gotta pass it, dribble it, do a thing, but I had nobody to play with. I had the football. Guess what? I had no one to throw it with. I had nobody to play catch and play ball with it. I could have got batting equipment in baseball, and guess what? You need somebody to throw it for you to hit it to play those things. So what's the competition for me being in my house with my video games without having the second player joystick? How fun is that without having someone to play with? Well, go ahead.
I know I'm joking around, but you know, when you start saying that, what ran to my mind was like, Dad, man, your dad was evil as hell. I'm gonna give him a football, but he ain't got nobody to play with.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy him all this stuff, but he ain't gonna have nobody to play with. So he ain't playing with the football, playing with the basketball.
And then he put me on punishment all the time. Yeah, now then I was in the punishment all the time. I couldn't even go outside with the shit I had. You know what I mean? They ain't never get dirty.
All these toys and go outside. And then he had all the video games, couldn't play him because he was always on punishment.
Yeah. She. That's why my mom was so good. My mama whooped somebody ass in defending Pac-Man.
Uh-huh.
Old man Jenkins, if you know how to play defender, yo, I don't know if my mom still got it, but yo, I would have put her against you on some defender. I don't know about Pac-Man, but I did see, yo, defender,
Yeah,
she'll whoop your ass. My game used to tilt. She used to make that joint go in hyperspace. She know how to work all that joint. Then one day I was like, Tay, you better go first. You know what I'm saying? If you don't go first, your ass ain't gonna play today.
That's torture, man. That's like opening up that's like your parents having a whole candy store with cakes and pies and everything, but tell you can't eat none of it.
You like that?
That's torture. Like, yeah, I got all this stuff.
Hey, listen, you can, but you're not going to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
But yo,
you know what I'm saying? You can, but you're not going to enjoy it by yourself.
We used to run.
You're like
it's just funny because I thought to think about.
Look, I had board games, Parcheesi, Sorry, Connect Four, card games. With all those, you need players. You know what I'm saying?
All that. You ain't even had company.
That's like you had everything, but you ain't have shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't really, you know. That's why I tell people this. You know, you can't do this world by yourself and think you're gonna have fun by yourself if your homies can't have none to have fun.
That's torture. Your dad was torturing you, bro. He was like, I'm gonna buy him something else he can't do nothing with.
I bet you the board games and stuff still in there. Got the instructions and everything. Puzzles, yo.
Yo, that is
that's why I talk so much. I ain't nobody to talk to. I was always in punishment, always in the house and shit. I came outside like, people, is that a real other person?
Everybody was surprised to see him. They was like, hey, look, Aunt, he's grown now.
I was like, I was still wearing my clothes when I was a kid, y'all, when I came out. I still had my diaper on it. Yeah, when I pull the sleeves up, them motherfuckers always up here. I had a bib on. My shirt was already up here. My shirt was already there. My belly was showing.
Yeah, a long sleeve shirt look like a t-shirt now.
Yo, I still have my hard walking shoes. You know those shoes they give you when you start walking? I was coming outside like this. Things like, damn, I ain't seen you.
Think about it. When you think about it, that's torture, bro. Yeah, all this stuff gonna do nothing with it. You almost had to ask yourself, did he mean to do
that? You like this? All right. Got all these things.
Did he mean to do that?
Like, did I gotta read the instructions because how to play the game? I feel like you know how they had it'd be like I had to have imaginary friends and how you're not even showing girls they got a doll, they got their little table, their teacup, and they be having their little plates. Yeah, that's how it was me, y'all. I was a kid, I had to make my own family and shit. You know what I'm saying? I know my parents was like, why you want us to buy you an oven bake oven? I'm like, Mom, I'm going to have a family. Yo, boy, why you want an easy bake oven? Mom, just get it. I'm going to make cakes and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to have a birthday. Yeah. Yes, sir. No, y'all know I was just messing. But yeah, if I had my table set up in my room, 2 joysticks. I know this sounds weird, right? But I had my video. Listen, I had my 2 joysticks, and I used to play with myself and try to beat myself. You like pause.
So you in the room?
I get on the first player. I get on the first. Y'all trying. Y'all just like. No, it was a 1 button and a joystick, Ryan, like this. And then I was like,
take that. Look, I'm winning. I'm winning.
And I got in the other seat, yeah. And I was like this. Let me jump back over there. Hold on. I'm gonna fight back.
That is torture, bro. Yo, that's torture.
That's before the computers got better when they start asking you as you play the games. They had games that would play you. And that should be cheating too, man. I hate that when the game be beating the hell out you. You be like, you can't beat that, John. Oh, hey, Jenkins, you know what I'm talking about? When you can't beat the game, you be so mad, like, you're cheating. You'll be a grown-ass man, you're cheating. No, it ain't cheating. Yo, that is fucking cheating. Now I'm going to start over. Y'all be forgetting y'all got to start over. Y'all be so mad y'all don't care. Y'all want to tear that game apart. Yo, no, I was at the such score. They cheating. Yo. See, I wish they had that shit when I was young.
Huh?
You know what I'm saying? That way I had to play with myself. Wait, play by myself. That just keep not sounding right. Oh. Okay, boner. Corny. That's what that KORN stand for. Because I'm corny 1999. Get your cornball ass out of here with that dumb shit. I'm hot as my nut. You ain't got no nuts. You ain't got no legs.
Talking about he gonna walk out of somebody's life. Where you going?
Yeah, right. You won't be able to fuck nobody over. Get out of here, corny. Yeah, but yo, man, like you said, those times coming up, man. You know, there people that can't be looking at my life like y'all thought it was. It wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, you had 2 people watching you and shit. You know what I'm saying? One put you on punishment. You know, at least if I was been a single parent, the parent put you on punishment and they got one parent, you'd be like, when they go to work, I'm going outside. Fuck that shit.
I got a window sneaking out and a window where I got to be back home before they get home from work.
That's why I was going to school every day. That's the only time I go somewhere. It's like, I was like, I'm going to summer school. Shit.
I think
you can't put me on punishment in the summertime. I'm going to summer school.
How you pass regular and then still go to summer school?
Yo, I was extra credited a motherfucker, Ron. Y'all think I'm lying. I guarantee y'all, yo. I'm telling y'all, I am not lying. I went to summer school. It was passing. I only went one time where I was failing, but he failed me. I'm sorry, it's getting hot a bit.
I think that's probably why it's good that I was I had like you were the oldest. I was the youngest. So I got to watch my siblings do stupid stuff, and I learned from the stupid stuff that they was doing how to avoid. Now it didn't work 100%. It didn't work 100%. But I remember my mom. My mom is very she just say it. Like, just say it. Say it.
Hey.
Say it.
But you know what? Our uncles was like that too, though. Our uncles was like that too. Our uncles like now. Your mom probably was the one that said it as rough as they would, that are cut, but a little harsher, probably. You know what I'm saying? And I think I can't even say that. I think it's because out of all of the sisters, like my mom ain't never cursed, y'all. My mom said damn one day, and I was like, oh shit, the world about to just fucking. And I remember one day she said, that nigga, I said, oh shit. Oh shit. I was like, yo.
Yeah.
Yo, that's why the weather been changing, yo. I'm telling you. That's it. She said damn and nigga in my 54 years, and I was like,
I think it was like this one time, my mom, like this is where I learned how not certain things, like my brother, no, we were younger than, like we were teenagers, probably. I was a teenager. I'm gonna say young teenager. Might even not been that old. My brother comes home with some girl that he met, right? And he goes upstairs. She's downstairs looking at the mantelpiece, looking at the pictures and stuff. But she was, I ain't gonna say dressed provocative, but the clothes that she had on was a little fitting. Is that the best way? Like she didn't have a mini skirt on, but the skirt was fitting. It came down to like a slightly above her knee type fitting. But she was covered, but she had a nice shape. So it ain't a whole lot you could do to cover up somebody that have a really nice shape. So my brother goes upstairs. My mom comes downstairs as he's going upstairs. My mom looks at her, walks in the kitchen. And I already know how my mom is. So I'm like, oh, this is not going to go well. So my brother goes upstairs in the room. He's coming back downstairs. He's not staying. He's just coming in for a few minutes to go back out. Right? Now, my mom never spoke to the girl. Never said, hello, how are you? Nothing. The lady, she spoke to my mom. She'd be like, how you doing, miss? My mom never spoke back. My mom coming out the kitchen. She's on her way back up the steps. My brother's coming back down the steps. And you know what my mother said to my brother right there as he's going down the steps? Right, the girl right there. She said, so Ernest, you been out trash picking again tonight, huh? And I was like, I'm sitting there like, wow. Like, honestly speaking, I'm sitting there like, yo, you. So at that point, I was like, the girl was nice and kind enough to say hello. She said hello. She was respectful. You didn't even speak back. She goes upstairs. My mom goes upstairs, and the only thing comes out of her mouth is, you've been out trash picking again tonight. So at that point, that's not even my point. My point is just to kind of get y'all laying the groundwork of what it is. So at that point in my head, at that moment, I said, I will never introduce anyone to my mother. And I'm telling this story because we went to my dad's gravesite, me, my mom, and my sister, right? My mom never knew I was doing this up until a couple of years ago. So me, my mom, and my sister's at the gravesite site. I took them up there. She wanted to go put some plants and stuff, some flowers on my dad's stuff, decorated stone, his tombstone, whatever. So we talking and stuff like that. And I say, I said, honestly speaking, Mom, everybody you ever met with me, you met by default. And she was like, what? And then so I brought back up the story of what she did to my brother. And I said, at that moment, I made it a point that you will never meet anybody I ever date. I'm not going to introduce them to you because in my head, you didn't even speak back to the girl. And you said something extremely disrespectful without even getting to know who she was. You just judged her based on what she was, her parents, which in my opinion really wasn't that bad, right? But I said, nope, she will never meet. I said, if she meets somebody on which she's going to meet them by default, meaning somehow or another, we're going to all end up in the same place where I have no other choice but to say, this is so-and-so.
No, this is my wife and kids.
So
this is my wife and kids.
Now here's the thing. So of course, you know how girls are. They be like, "Oh, I want to meet your mom. I want to meet your mom. I want to meet," and I'm like, they always thought I wasn't trying to introduce them to my mom because I had something to hide. No, I don't want you to introduce me to my mom because my mom. At that point, I'm like, my mom is very disrespectful. I don't want to. I'm not. It doesn't matter if you meet my mom. It's never going to change who me and you are if we together or whatever case may be. Right? I'm like, no, I don't care.
I'm my judgment. Yeah.
So I remember before I got married, my ex-wife, I had to go home for something to my mom's house and get something. She was in the car. I'm getting out the car. I'm on my way back to the car. Now I'm trying to hurry up because I don't want my mom to come home. Of course, my mom pulls up in the car, just so happened. I'm like, man, I got to introduce these two. That's how my mom met my wife. I was like, Mom, this is so-and-so. I said, Mom, this is so-and-so, so-and-so. This is my mom. All right, holla. Got in the car left. That was it. I ain't want no conversation because I already know how. I said, my mom don't know. In my opinion, based off of what I seen with that, I was at that point. I said, never ever will my mother have I would never give her that space to disrespect somebody without actually getting to know them. Now, it ain't the only time my mom did that. I'm just telling one story.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, it's all right.
You know, I know multiple of them.
Right. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
So they was like, you know, nope. I said, at that moment, but I'm telling my mom this story. She was like, you mean to tell me all this time you really was doing that? I said, yeah. Now we in the car laughing about it because it's funny to everybody. My sister cracking up laughing. She was like, yo, this is funny. She said, I did not know that he was doing it.
You wasn't gonna do that to me.
Huh? My mom is laughing.
She's thinking you gonna do that to me.
She's laughing at me.
That's the thing.
Why? She was like, was I that bad? I'm like, was. You still
I still ain't brought nobody over there. I still ain't brought nobody over there. You know what I mean? And you know what? And it's funny because I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say too much, you know what I'm saying? Because there wasn't nothing going on back then, but you know, they was young.
Right.
And you know what I mean? And I probably why she said what she said is because of the amount of leverage at the time that things was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Now here's the thing. My dad,
with your brother.
My dad, man.
No, I'm talking about with your brothers.
Well, maybe at that time, but here's the thing. Yeah, but she did it to the other brother. Not the same way.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about. It didn't matter which one, right?
Right. And so it's like, I listen, don't get me wrong. That's why I said that's not the only time. I just recognized the pattern.
Yeah, okay.
That's the reason why I just said, nah, I'm good. Like you do this to everybody that somebody meet. And and I'm thinking, looking at my brothers like, why y'all keep introducing?
I mean, but all I'm saying is she had to meet a lot of people.
No, that's my whole point. It did not even matter. She just was straight. Come and listen. Here's the thing. Even when she met my ex-wife, you see it already coming out. But I didn't stay long enough for her to be what she was. You know what I'm saying? So I never gave her the opportunity to throw the rude stuff on in me. I was just like, no.
And you know what? When you think about it,
if you would have thought that my siblings would have learned, but they didn't learn.
You know what's funny?
What? I mean, of course they married. They've been married for a long time. That don't happen no more. But I'm talking about.
No, but I was saying, but she still, when you think about them, though, Ron, and you and yourself, the skin that she built off of them. You think about when they say what's on their mind, your brothers. Like they'll say something, you be like, "Did you just say that, yo?" You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about because he don't give a damn what he used to turn around and say. He's like, "Oh man, like
yeah."
Now and then maybe one of your sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Honestly, both of them.
I want to say both bunkers, yeah, but I know that's what I'm saying. The degree they can do that. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
They can't do that. They got tough skin, and sometimes they say some hurtful stuff, and you be like, oh.
One's worse than the other. I will say that, but
yeah,
yeah. I mean, but that's why they all go at each other's neck like they do.
yeah.
But you would have thought that my brother knew would have learned. I'm talking about back then that they would have learned then. Stop introducing people to it, but like, of course, a guy, he thinks somebody interested, he want to meet your mom to meet him because I might end up being with this person. So I want my mom to meet him. I didn't care if my mother never met him. I could be with him for 20 years and my mother never met him. I would not have cared. I could have had 900 kids. And they'd be like, what? And I'm like, no, I'm good.
She might say something crazy, and I don't want her to.
I'm not gonna put nobody. I'm
not
not
gonna
go pull somebody into that because they're gonna look at it and say, "Man, your mom is rude."
And she really cared. That's the crazy thing. It's just that I think she's just her way of saying.
Not so much.
That's just his way of showing that she cares. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about me. I'm like the bug, baby. Everybody loves me. You know what I'm saying? Fan.
Look at him.
They love me.
God's reputation.
You know
Such a nice nephew.
I was the only. No, there was. I was the only child. They felt sorry for me. They like, goddamn boy. And the king never come outside. I ain't seen him since they had him. I wish they take them. I wish they take them hard walking shoes off of him.
25 years old with hard working shoes.
Oh shit! That's why I had the brace jaws on when I first started coming outside. Remember, I had the orthopedic shoes.
Before we mentally close out, bro. Remember that story?
Yeah.
When we were sitting on your porch, and we almost got arrested. Remember the cops was coming as they was after Big Mark.
Mark. Yeah. I thought you were talking about that.
Yeah.
Only in Philadelphia, yo.
How old was we then? We was teenagers then. We was probably like 15, 16, maybe.
Yeah.
We was
like, he's the second person, because we were talking about Bobby Mann did it one time. So he's the second person that had hands too. Yeah.
I gotta give you that. That is the one time I was glad to see your dad.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you something. The one thing I can say about this is that, listen, this is funny. See, this is something that sometimes you don't, like, I don't believe in beating up the police, but every once in a while when you see one get their behind kicked, you kind of like it because they being a-holes, because a lot of the police back then was real a-holes. Not all of them, but some of them were a-holes. So here's the story. Me and Aunt, we sitting on the porch, minding our own business. We ain't got nothing to do with none of the stuff that's going on in the hood. I don't even know what me and Aunt was doing at the time. We were just sitting on the porch, laughing and joking. Yeah. Actually, we was on the porch, but we was on the step of the porch.
Yeah.
Now, we know up the corner, they getting down. When I say get down, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you're from the hood, you know what I'm talking about. Hold on 1 second.
Jumbos, 34s.
Right. You from the hood, you know what we're talking about. So we sitting there. All of a sudden, my man Mark started walking down the street. Because I guess he saw that the police was coming. So now Ant Block is a small, narrow block. It ain't that big. So he's walking down the street. Po come up. And they get ready to talk to him because they see him. I guess they mean.
No, he sat on the step. He sat on the step first.
He sat on the step right beside us.
Yeah, because he was acting like he was talking to us.
There was a vacant house next door to Ant. He sat on that step and started talking to us. Now, again, he started talking to us. The police never seen us on the corner. We never hung on the corner like that. We just sitting on the step. He sit down. He started talking to him. But he sat on the step of the house that was right beside Ant House, which is an abandoned house, nobody living.
They roll homes, y'all.
Cops, 2 cops get out the car. 1 male, 1 female. And I guess they decided they wanted to arrest him. Now, he stood up. Now, Mark wasn't no little dude.
Yo, I would like to tell Mark to come on, because Mark can sing his ass off. But go ahead, y'all, right?
He stands up, and they looking, and they trying to arrest him because they think he got drugs, whatever. So, I guess he didn't want to go to jail.
No, he didn't. But listen, you remember correctly, he said, where you live at? He said, right here. But he pointed at our house, and we was like this. You don't live here. So he said, the cop said, where you live? He said, right here. That's an abandoned house. So the cops look up at the abandoned house. He said, where you live? And he came around with the fist like right here.
Whoa.
He even knocked me straight over the car.
When I tell you, he punched the hell out of that cop. He punched the one cop, and then they pushed the other cop under the car. The lady cop, he shoved her under the car. He punched the other cop over the car, and then took off running. Now,
he literally pushed her under the car. Like he grabbed her, really like he didn't want to hurt her. Like,
this is why I say they a-holes. They knew we had nothing to do with it. Because they got mad at him because he whooped their behind, they trying to lock me and Ant up and put handcuffs on us.
Mm-hmm.
Why? We just sitting there, minding our business.
Yeah.
You trying to lock us up because you mad because he creamed you and called you. Now you want to take it out on us. I was like, we both like 15 years old, sitting on his parents' porch. We were sitting there for a while. You know he wasn't with us because you watched him walk all the way down that long behind block before he got to us.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? Why are you even bothering us? So just so happened, Aunt Pop was in the house. He come outside like, what y'all doing? Or they trying. He's like, why you got handcuffs on my nephew and my son and my nephew? What did they didn't do nothing. He said, first of all, they just came out of my house. So I know they ain't do nothing. So why y'all get handcuffs on them? Because they suspect for the drugs and stuff. Like he's like, man, take them handcuffs off my nephew. They ain't got nothing to do with it. He just came out of my house. Because which we did. We just came out of the house and sat down like, sure. Ain't can't go nowhere further than that porch.
I probably was on punishment. I probably was like, thank you, Ronnie, for coming over.
Sure.
What the phone? We're sitting on the porch. Would you like some cookies, Ron? We got some cookies in the kitchen. Then we go outside so we won't make a mess.
But when I say he hit that cop hard, I look like this. He looked like Mike Tyson hitting
that. Was good. That was good to have 2 parents that day.
Yeah.
It was good to have my dad around that day.
It was damn good.
All right.
But they was mad.
After that, though, right?
Then your dad. Let me tell you what happened after. After all of that happened, he told me I had to go home and put Ant on punishment because Ant almost got locked up.
See what happened? I let you outside.
That's why you ain't going outside no more. Ant was on punishment.
Ron, call me when you get home.
Ant was on punishment. All because Mark punched out the police and threw the other police. Now Ant on punishment for 6 months.
That's why I remember everybody's number. It was on the wall. I was in the house like this.
And that is the truth.
215. Yeah, this was my actual house number, y'all. Over 40. I lived in that house since I was probably 23, 24, right? 215-226-5127.
Wow. I wonder who got that phone.
Listen, I can tell everybody's number. If they ain't changed their number today, I can tell everybody's number was there. I know they ain't no longer my number, so I can say it. But I can tell you everybody's number, what area they lived in the city and everything else, bro, just for doing that. If it was 22-924-484, 924-927, because that band, it was letters, y'all. Remember that? Before we close out, do y'all remember the letters
Yeah,
For the telephone numbers, WA7.
2 to 3 letters.
Yes, DAC. Yeah, y'all remember that?
Yep.
Did anybody remember that? I don't know if anybody's still left on here, but I don't know if y'all had that in y'all city, but do y'all remember that?
2 phone numbers from my childhood. My mom's, because she still technically got it, and Aunt Lynn's.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Because their numbers are still the same. All of them. All the aunts are still the same. All the aunts are still the same, yo.
But I still.
All my uncle passed, but I'm saying that all their houses are still the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All of them. But hey, y'all, we appreciate y'all coming in on the night. Sorry we can't get in the telephone numbers and the area codes, because I'd have killed it on that, John. See people where they was from in parts of Philadelphia. I'm telling you. But I want to close out again with us raising this for for Robin's daughter. Us in that we can hopefully we come on here, because this is what it'll be. These next few weeks will actually be in there. We're going to probably get off of it, but at the same point, we wait for one of our peoples to come back, and so we can dig a little bit further, maybe possibly even get them on here to talk about it, so that y'all can understand the story a little bit better, and how it's affecting and how would it help that to be doing it. Because as we are a family, a community, we have to be a village. You know what I'm saying? And the other villages got to help, especially at this kind of time, y'all. But we would appreciate it if said not. But for other than that, we appreciate y'all. And like the bug, Ron's opinion. My man, thank you again, old man Jenkins. And Ron, we got to go back out with the intro that we came outro with.
Yeah, we
you know what I'm saying?
The outro.
You know what I mean?
Outro.
Yes.
We keep hope alive.
Fellas, ladies, you're looking for lotions, you're looking for beard oils, but unfortunately everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from top to bottom, hair and skin care. That's top to bottom, hair and skin care. www.top2bottom.com. Tell them I sent you.
Voices rise, gotta see through the light.